The Zephyrian delegation had arrived at the edge of the Sol system, with all the pomp and ceremony befitting the galaxy's most advanced civilization. Their crystalline ships glowed with soft bioluminescence, each vessel a masterwork of organic engineering that had taken centuries to grow. Admiral Kethvar stood on the bridge of the flagship Luminous Dawn, his 6 arms folded in satisfaction as he gazed upon the primitive blue world they had come to claim. Third-tier species, as expected, reported his tactical officer Veltar, her voice carrying the musical tones of their kind. Crude chemical propulsion, basic electromagnetic communications, and no evidence of faster-than-light capability. The preliminary scans show they haven't even left their planetary gravity well in any meaningful numbers. Kethvar's mandibles clicked in approval. This would be another easy integration into the galactic collective. The humans, as their intercepted transmissions had identified them, would be offered the standard choice: technological uplift in exchange for planetary resources and a century of indentured servitude or complete subjugation. Most species chose the former. The peaceful first contact had proceeded exactly according to protocol. A single Zephyrian courier ship had descended to the planet's largest landmass, broadcasting universal peace symbols and mathematical sequences. The humans had responded with curiosity rather than hostility, gathering their leaders at a place called the United Nations. Within days, translation matrices had been established and formal negotiations had begun. The human representatives, a diverse collection of their species with varying skin pigmentations and facial structures, had listened to the Zephyrian offer with what seemed like appropriate awe and resignation. "We understand your position," the human called Secretary General Martinez had said during the 3rd day of talks. "We are clearly outmatched technologically. We accept your terms and request the technological uplift package." It had been almost disappointingly easy. Now, 3 weeks later, the main Zephyrian fleet had arrived to begin the integration process. 17 massive bioships hung in space like jeweled ornaments, their crews already preparing the terraforming equipment that would reshape Earth's continents for optimal resource extraction. "Admiral," Veltar's voice carried an edge of confusion, "I'm detecting an anomaly in our long-range sensors. There appears to be a ship approaching from the outer system." Kethvar's compound eyes swiveled toward the tactical display. A single contact was indeed moving toward them at impossible speeds, far exceeding anything their preliminary surveys had suggested the humans were capable of. "Magnify and analyze," he ordered. The holographic display shimmered and resolved into an image that made the entire bridge fall silent. The approaching vessel was unlike anything in their extensive databases. Where Zephyrian ships curved and flowed like living things, this craft was all angles and brutal efficiency. Its hull was midnight black, drinking in starlight rather than reflecting it, and its design spoke of one purpose: war. "Size?" Kethvar asked, his voice suddenly tight. "Approximately 4 kilometers in length, Admiral. Mass readings are unusual. The hull composition appears to be some sort of exotic matter we've never encountered." The ship's approach vector brought it directly toward the Zephyrian fleet, showing no signs of deceleration. As it closed the distance, details became visible that sent ripples of unease through the bridge crew. Weapon ports lined its hull like dead eyes, and strange geometric patterns covered its surface, patterns that seemed to shift and move when observed directly. "Incoming transmission," reported the communications officer. On screen, the image that appeared was of a human, but not like any they had seen during the negotiations. This one wore a uniform of midnight blue, with insignia that suggested high rank. His eyes were cold, calculating, and when he spoke, his voice carried an authority that made even Admiral Kethvar's chitinous hide crawl. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force vessel Retribution. You have violated the terms of our first contact protocols by bringing a military fleet into our system without authorization." Kethvar found his voice. You said you accepted our terms. Your leaders agreed to integration." Captain Chen's smile was razor thin. "Our leaders agreed to buy us time. Time to see what you were really planning. Time to bring our real ships home." "Impossible," Veltar whispered. "Their technology level was a carefully constructed lie," Chen interrupted, apparently monitoring their communications. "Did you really think a species capable of faster-than-light travel wouldn't have ways to hide their true capabilities? We've been watching you for decades, studying your methods, your expansion patterns, your weaknesses. The tactical display exploded with new contacts. Ships materialized throughout the system as their stealth systems disengaged. Not the primitive chemical rockets the Zephyrians had expected, but sleek predators bristling with weapons that made their bioships look like children's toys. You see, Chen continued, her voice conversational despite the circumstances. Humans have a particular talent that most species lack. We're exceptionally good at violence. We've spent our entire evolutionary history perfecting the art of killing each other. And once we realized we weren't alone in the universe, we began applying that expertise on a much larger scale. One of the Zephyrian ships attempted to power its weapons, only to find its bio-neural network suddenly dying as nanoscale infiltrators, seated during the peaceful negotiations, began their work. We call it the Terran Doctrine, Chen explained as more Zephyrian ships found their systems failing. Appear weak when you are strong, gather intelligence on your enemy, and when the time comes, strike with overwhelming force. You've given us everything we need to know about your technology, your tactics, and most importantly, your other targets. Admiral Kethvar felt something he had never experienced in his 3 centuries of conquest. Fear. What do you want? Simple, Chen replied. You're going to send a message to your collective. Tell them Earth is under Terran protection, along with every other species you've integrated over the past millennium. Tell them that if they want to continue their expansion, they'll need to find a different spiral arm to terrorize. And if we refuse? Captain Chen's smile widened, showing teeth that seemed far too sharp for a supposedly civilized species. Then we'll demonstrate why the phrase "fighting like cornered animals" exists. Trust me, Admiral. You don't want to see what humans are capable of when we stop pretending to be civilized. As the Retribution moved into attack position, its weapon arrays beginning to charge with energies that made space itself ripple, Admiral Kethvar realized that the Zephyrian collective had made a fatal error in their assessment. Humans weren't a third-tier species waiting to be uplifted. They were predators who had been waiting for prey to come to them.